Nigel Farage, huge political upheaval yesterday in Westminster. You moved your speech forward 3 hours, but was it actually a problem for you? Was it really a total gift?
Well, there was a gap in the market, wasn't there? You know, the Deputy Prime Minister had gone. There was a reshuffle coming. It was pretty clear that the Prime Minister didn't know what that reshuffle was. So, yeah, I did move it forward a few hours. I think it was the right thing to do. And I predicted on the stage at 1 o'clock yesterday that the real battle here is going to be the election for the deputy leader of the Labour Party. And that is when you're going to see the real battle between the centrist Labour Party and the increasingly strong voice of the left. And I think they're going to be very, very split over this.
No doubt there's turmoil in Labour, but you made some big pledges yesterday in your speech. Very notably, you said a reform government would stop the boats within 2 weeks. How would you do that? Well,
I'm looking at the Australian example. You know, Australia grappled with this for years. The boats coming from Indonesia, they tried all sorts of things. They tried offshore processing. They tried to pass various pieces of legislation. And frankly, none of it worked until suddenly in 2012, the Prime Minister of Australia said, I've had enough. He started towing the boats back to Indonesia, and within 2 weeks they stopped coming.
But you'd have to change laws, and that would take time. It would all have to go through Parliament to pull out the ECHR,
yes,
the refugee.
It will take 2 weeks. Once we get the legislation in place, it will take 2 weeks.
Once you get the legislation in place. It sounded yesterday like you said you would stop within 2 weeks of coming into power.
We will stop within 2 weeks of legislation being passed. We'll stop the boats.
OK, but I mean, the legislation could take months and months and months, couldn't it, to go through both houses? So just to try to get a rough idea what...
Given the mood of the nation, the legislation needs to go through as quickly as is possible.
OK. Thank you for clearing that up. A great get, Nadine Dorries.
Yeah.
Of course, you disagree about the online safety. You said yesterday that you do need experience, experience. Clearly, she brings that. But you do have a bit of a problem, don't you, in the gap of experience if you're going to, as opposed to just form the next government?
Let's be absolutely frank on the Online Safety Act. I do not disagree with attempts to protect children. It's just that. And if you talk to Nadine, she'll tell you she had no intention with this legislation of an elite police force being set up to monitor what we say online.
Social media companies have not policed themselves. I mean, they've had years and years. This Online Safety Act has taken... Anyway, let's not go down that.
OK, on the broad point, you know, I made very clear from the stage yesterday that our biggest weakness is a lack of experience. We don't lack energy, we don't lack enthusiasm, we don't lack good people from all walks of life coming forward and wanting to be involved. But we don't know how it actually works. And therefore we need people who've been at the sharp end, you know, who've worked in cabinet, who understand what the interactions with the civil service are like. And Nadine Dorries is the first person that's come to us that's got that experience. And there will be more.